Streetz is watching Shade 45. Major shout out to my family, DJ Drama, Don Cannon, Iceberg, TC, Sarah, Vivian, Pate, Sheree, and of course it's me, the most energetic entertainer. And today is an exclusive interview. You know, Grammy nominated, one of God's chosen sons, one of my good friends. He's created the sound of what a lot of popular people used to go to this app and still use SoundCloud. Just a pioneer of his generation. Ladies and gentlemen, Digital Nas is in the building.
Man, that introduction was too good. Digital Nas, Manni Supreme, exclusive interview.
Yeah.
Series set sound.
You know, I interviewed you for Hot 107.9.
Yeah.
And you know that intro was cool, but I remember for this one.
This one was amazing.
It had to be.
Yeah.
So how you feeling today, man? You good?
I'm happy to be here.
I want to start at the beginning for all your fans that don't know. You went to Georgia State, the current school that I go to. You stayed at the Freedman Ford Loft. This is where you began the new wave, the new sound of that 2016, 2015 era.
Man, that's history.
Talk about just, some of the people that you did meet during that time and what role did that whole area over there, being in downtown Atlanta and during that time, what that time period created and did for your career?
So that was like the start of the Lil Boat era, the early 2015. We made all those records. I remember at one point Space Ghost Perk was coming through there. Obviously Playboy Cardi. We made Run It there at Freedom Fort Lofts. Lil Trippie Redd when he was like young as hell. Uno the Activist. That was a band Fani. Pretty much that was like our stew, like Freedom Fort Lofts, like right across from 112. Like no joke, like a lot of even Keith Ape from all the way from where was he from? South Korea. Soon when he came to Atlanta, he put up Freedom Fort Lofts.
So what was like, and so during that time, that was before a lot of them were on.
Well, this was like
per se.
Yeah, this was way before. This was 2015, bro. Like this was the start of that wave.
And so you said your roommate was like introducing you to all these people and you were trying to figure out like, bro, who are all these fucking people in our house?
Yeah, because for me, I was just, like I said, I was in school. So I was just making beats for fun and I had a mic and an Apollo. So it was then like my roommate made clothes. His name's Enzo. He had a brand called Finesse. Remember the credit card? Remember the credit card? That was my roommate. The credit card with the Finesse.
Yeah, that was way
logo.
back. That was way
So yeah, that was my roommate Enzo. So he was tapped in. He was like one of the cool kids.
I see that shit everywhere.
Yeah, he knew everybody. He knew Boat. He knew everybody. So he would be bringing people through like, yo, Nas, you should meet him, work with him, work with him, work with him. And I was like, I'm working with everybody because it's like, I do this for fun.
Yeah.
I didn't do this to make something out of it. I just was doing it for fun. I was in school for real. I was like, music was second, school was first. So then, then that's how that came about. We made Lil Boat, put that out on my SoundCloud because I was the only one with a SoundCloud for real at that time. So a lot of the records, the reason why they was posted on my SoundCloud was because I was the only nigga with SoundCloud. So we put out Lil Boat, we put out Run It, and them shits just took off.
Yeah.
And then later, One Night came out, and then that's when I was like, "Oh fuck, this shit is."
It could work.
It could work, yeah.
Yeah, they, you mentioned in a previous interview 100,000 plus off SoundCloud.
Yeah, it's probably way more now, but like
right, but just during that time and for a platform,
because we was the first that was getting paid from SoundCloud.
Talk about it.
Yeah, like before SoundCloud started paying artists, the first person was Yachty, so they started paying Yachty on SoundCloud. So then I found out niggas started getting paid on SoundCloud. So I figured out how to get paid on SoundCloud. And then I started getting paid on SoundCloud. And then now it's obviously a big thing. But like in 2015, 2016, niggas been getting paid from SoundCloud.
So like explain what were those like earlier sessions like? Because like for people that don't know, like Boat was, he went by RD. Playboy Cardi was Cash Cardi. Like, what were some? And I know you've been able to obviously see their growth. Even with Trippie. Like, what were those earlier studio sessions like? Were you like, plug in here or do this here? Or like, how were those sessions and like how have you seen their progression and growth since those Freedman Ford 112?
Yeah, it was really just fun. Like we wasn't thinking nothing of it. Like I remember like K Sachi. This kid named K Sachi, he was like popping at that time, super popping. So Dior, they would come down, they would throw lit ass parties. You get what I'm saying? We was just having fun. I remember at sometimes we like 20 people in that small loft, just recording, like mic back and forth. You get what I'm saying? So it was just fun. It wasn't like nothing. So to see everybody progressing the way they did, I feel like for the most part we still kept that fun aspect of it. Cause like even when I pull up on, like I'll pull up on Cardi, like or even if I pull up on Boat, it still seems fun.
You can see the growth though.
Yeah, the growth is obviously huge.
Right, exactly.
But it's like that fun aspect, I think, is what's allowing us to kind of keep going in this shit. 'Cause I felt like if it ever became business, I don't even think I would do it. Right. I told you I would just go back to school if it got to be that.
And what did you tell them before we cut the camera? What would you be going back to school for?
I would go get my law degree.
And why is that? Because that's what you were majoring in at Georgia State before. But I mean,
like
if I ever got in trouble, I would call you for.
I know. I still study law. Like I read a lot. I read a lot. So it's like the laws update every month. So that's why like law degree is like one of the most like skilled degrees you can have because it's a constant update. Laws are constantly being updated. So as a lawyer, you got to be on top of that. I always liked that because I kind of felt like with music, I felt like my goal in music is to always evolve it. So law was like something I liked. I was like, oh, this is something that's always evolving. Doctors, that's always evolving. Yeah. So that's anything always evolving.
I never even thought about it like that. It's just like, reading books and the whole nine. Like, psh. But you mentioned before, even when you were getting started earlier with the producing game, and we had this conversation with producers. How do I say this the right way? This is Shade 45, so we can, tip riding just to get placements. What is your feel and how music is right now on the producing game? And you mentioned before how if the artist doesn't respect you as a producer,
as a person,
right, first, then you shouldn't even, reach out or do that whole sort of type of ordeal with them musically. So, one, what created that mindset for digital now?
Well, first off, I grew up skateboarding my entire life. I've been skateboarding since I was 7 years old. That's what I did first before music, skateboarding. So in that culture, it's like, fuck you, pay me culture. It's like, I don't give a fuck who you are. You gonna respect me. That's kind of the culture I come from. So when I got into music, it was like, I don't give a fuck who you are. Like, I'm a human being just like you. If we can't have that simple line of respect, then fuck you. Right. And I know I probably can't curse on here, but y'all gonna bleep it out. But that's how real it is. I feel like respect is something that should not ever be played with. And I feel like I hate to see a lot of producers kind of like losing themselves for a placement that you probably gonna get 20% of publishing of. Really not gonna make much money besides the producer fee, if you get a producer fee. So it's like, I feel like if producers worked more on their talent, they wouldn't have to do all that tip writing.
Have you ever seen any producers per se sell their souls for placements?
I don't know about selling their
souls.
Not sell souls,
but lose integrity and cave
in. Losing integrity. I see that a lot.
And you mentioned how you stopped using your producer tag.
Yep.
Why?
Ye inspired me to do that because he was like, yo, does Pharrell have a tag? I was like, no. He was like, did I have a tag? I was like, no. I was like, he was like, why do you have a tag? I was like, because obviously that's the thing to do. But then when I started thinking about it, I'm like, if I want to be timeless, I shouldn't use a tag. Because then if you think about it, you're going to have to always update your tag. Because the tag you used in 2013, if you're still using it in 2023, that's kind of weird if you think about it. It's outdated. It's like, nigga, we was listening to that tag 10 years ago.
Yeah, on an artist that we don't even listen to.
On an artist we don't even listen to no
Yeah.
more. So it's like, to kind of cancel that all out, I stopped using the tag because I felt like that's less worry on my craft. Like I was watching the Steve Jobs interview and he was like, he wear the same outfit every day because it's less thinking he has to do. He could focus on the goal. Like if I'm trying to make hit records, why am I thinking about a tag? You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
So it's like,
woke in my eyes. I was like, hey, if I was a producer, I would be coming up with the craziest. But It's definitely by, what you feel is best. Let's talk about, the Ye relationship. So Moa Lola, shout out. We had that conversation. You said she was playing your music, and then Ye was like, "Who is this?"
You know what's crazy? She was playing BK's music.
Really?
Around Ye.
What do you know? What song it was?
I don't know. It was a song I produced. I think it was it was something on Nirvana. It was something. I did that whole album.
Yeah.
But
and then you got that DM telling you to come to Vegas or LA.
Oh, I was in Vegas.
Oh, you were in Vegas.
Yes.
But you
when
got
my
the
manager
DM.
Ray called me saying that Ye wanted beats, and I'm like, you lying.
And so what? Okay, when you had got that call,
I hung up.
And then what happened?
He called back and said that Ye wants beats. I was like, bro, stop lying. Like, this is not real. It's not real. Like, I'm telling him it's not real. He's like, nah, it's real. And then I knew it was real when mad A&R started DMing me trying to get in contact. So I'm like, oh shit, this shit might be real. So I ran to, because I didn't have nothing on me. Yeah. I ran to the hotel.
And you said you retransferred how many beats?
It was like 100 something beats. I don't know the exact number.
Crazy.
But yeah, I remember running like, oh, this is real. Like, I'm running back. Like, I'm out with family. I run back to the hotel, send them now. Like, I got to get these out now. Got the beats to him. He never listened to him.
Really?
Never listened to him.
How do you know he didn't listen to him?
Because he told me.
Really?
So then when I seen him, and when Moa Lola brings me to meet Ye, I said, Ye, I sent you 100. I was like, I sent you 100 something beats. He's like, what? When? I ain't hear him. He said, pull him up right now. I get his engineer. I said, look in your email. The engineer opened him. I'm like, I look at the engineer. I said, playing for Ye right now. I swear to God, that day Junior was made.
Where were y'all?
We were at Ye's. We were at the art gallery. He had the first part of Donda was recorded at an art gallery. So it was like an art studio space, and he turned it into a studio. So then that's the first place I met Ye. And then we played those records. Junior was made. That shit went on and off the album a lot. And it finally made the album because we put, organs, a real organ. He was like,
what was it at first?
It was like a Can I play it for you?
Yeah, we can. Yeah,
I'll play you the original.
Pull it up. These are exclusives, only on Shade 45 Street.
So I'll play you the original remote. It was trap.
Really?
It was a trap beat, obviously. Oh, this is like, that's like a whole different version. I'm gonna play the original one.
That's crazy.
Let's see.
Why the organs though? Did they fit more of the theme?
This the original. This is the first. I still like this one more. See, it was like the.
It's a different vibe.
It was like the boom, 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 boom. So it was like brass. It was like voices. It was like vocals and choir and brass. Obviously, it was a VST because we didn't have no real choir.
So whose idea was it to put the organ on there?
My idea. So then, because Junior wasn't on the album. I mean, I'm saying Junior. Remote Control. So Junior was the organ one. So Junior was the one that wasn't on the album. It kept coming on and off. It didn't make the album until it was one instrument, because he was on this whole like one instrument, one sound, one drum, no hi-hats, wave. So he was like, we need an organ. This man gets a real organ in the hotel, because at that point we were in San Francisco. So he gets a real organ, bro, like delivered to the hotel we were at. And then OG Volta, they produced a lot on Donda. I was like, yo, let's do the organ. And then they did the organ. They did the chords on organ and made the album that way.
Crazy. So with some of the features that were on there, how was that creative process like? Were you like, hey, I think this person should go on there?
Man, I remember telling, I guess we could talk about Donda too. I remember telling Ye, like, yo, and no disrespect to anyone, but I was like, it was another artist on the song I produced for him called Louis Bags. I said, no, put Jack Harlow on it. I swear the next day Jack Harlow was in Miami doing his verse. Like, he did his verse before, like, Jack finalized his verse right before he went out and did that listening party.
Why did you choose Jack or say Jack?
Cause like,
besides the other artists?
Because I've been talking to Jack for a minute. We ain't never worked, but I just been always just texting Jack. And I feel like, in my eyes, I was like, Jack, he like one of those people that can't do no wrong. Like, that's the energy I get from him.
He can rap, though.
It ain't can rap, but it don't matter about that to me. Yeah. It don't matter about, like, energy. And I was like, yo, this man, Jack, like, he just, I don't know, it's something about him that he's just genuine.
So when you recommended it to Ye, he was like,
Nah, he was with it.
Crazy.
I mean, obviously, Jack was popping at the time.
He's on the song now.
Yeah, but yeah, he was with it.
So describe some of the listening parties, because I had a chance to, and it's actually, I told you this, I had a chance to be somewhat of an extra for the Atlanta show.
Yeah.
For the people who was a part of it. But for the one that happened in Chicago, I know it was very different for the different places that it was.
I don't think I was I wasn't at the Chicago
So
one.
which listening parties did you go to? And then, like, explain, like, the whole camp that was set up, because on Twitter, on Instagram, we were seeing, like, the lock-ins with the beds and the countdowns.
Yeah, that was all real.
And you and Mike Dean just locked in. Yeah. Explain what those, like, Donda camps leading up to the listening parties were like.
It was just, I got too many stories. But it's like, it was some real militant shit, bro. We had to all wear the same shirt. We had to write our names on that brown Donda shirt. Everyone had to wear the same shit. It wasn't no niggas coming in fresh. Like, everyone had to wear black and that brown Donda shirt with our name written on it. It don't matter who you were, Kid Cudi, everyone.
What do you think was his purpose for that?
Same. Remember I was talking to you about, like, we all human?
Yeah.
I feel like maybe that's why. Like, I feel like
everybody's on the same.
Yeah, we're all on the same level. There's no
That's hard.
ego. Like, there's no, like, I'm this person, so I need this treatment. It's like, yo, we're all here to make Donda. It ain't about you, bro. It ain't about you, bro. It's about Donda. It's about Donda.
Yeah.
It ain't even about Ye. It's about Donda.
So what were some of the most eye-opening sessions? Like, even working with Mike Dean or, you know, some of the other people who worked on that album. Like, what were the most eye-opening sessions where Digital Nas was like, oh, man, I got to implement this for my own music?
Say that one, what was the most
So, like, for example, like, I seen a clip of y'all, or actually there was some snippet that leaked of your documentary that's coming out.
Yeah,
you're working on Flowers, right?
Flowers, yeah.
And I see you, in the studio, it was you, a couple of your
Yeah,
partners.
because I was writing a verse.
So what were some of those, like, for the Flowers example, for Donda 2? Like, what were some of those sessions like, and what were some things that you were able to pick up that you now use with your own music?
How to write music. I learned how to write music by watching Ye. Like, I learned how to really actually put songs together by watching him. I learned a lot about music just by watching what he does. Like, the mumbles and all that before you write, that's that energy you get out. So, like, I guess you could say my new writing process now is like, I play a beat and it'll be all energy, one take, all energy. I'll like, whatever comes to mind,
Like a reference track.
Reference, yeah, sit on it, and then I'll play it, and then the words will come. It's like when you do the ref track, it's like you're trying to say words, but they're not coming out. But when you listen, you're like, oh, that's what I was trying to say. And then you start realizing the song writes itself.
That's dope.
Yeah, but I'm not at that level to be like, give a reference track to 30 different people and they all write versions.
Yeah.
But if I was, that would be the way I would do it.
Yeah. Do you feel like it's more efficient?
Yeah. It's like, man, Ye is Ye, bro. It's like he don't have time to just write records, bro.
Right.
Like, so it's like he gonna do his one take and y'all finish it.
Yeah.
You better make that shit work.
I think when you get to that point, it's like, get it done.
Get it done. It's like, yeah.
What's your opinion on the stem player?
Stem player, I love it.
I personally, I didn't get a chance to get one. Shout out to my program director, Hot 179. He has one, and he was like, just the structure of it, of how you can take the vocals out and then have the instrumental and then bring it back. Like, were there specific ways that you guys had to produce the songs out?
Yeah, we had to get them track outs. So everything we did, he had to have track outs too.
So explain that process for those who don't know how.
So track outs is like, if you make a beat, it might be 20 different sounds. You got to bounce each sound out separately. Then give it to the engineers so they could obviously stem it out. That's the whole, like, stems. That's what stems are, track outs.
Got you. So with that, you were very productive while being out there in LA working on Donda. Bussin'. You shot that video, crazy.
Well, that was during Donda 2.
So that was during Donda
like,
2.
So it's like two different eras. Like, so Donda was like 2021. Donda 2 was 2022.
Really?
Donda 2 was like January to like May.
So it was a quick process.
Yeah, it was like January to July. Actually, probably July. Because I remember I had to go do Rolling Loud Miami.
So did you make Bussin' while out there?
Yeah, while we was working on Donda 2, while everybody was asleep. I'm talking about Future sleeping in that room, Ye sleeping in that room. The Baby slept. French Montana was sleeping there. I think Trav came through and left. But while everybody was asleep, I said, I'm finna record. Like, this is the only time I got. Because I had to wake up at 8 a.m.
Yeah.
So I recorded the song Bussin' at 6 a.m. And then everybody was asleep. I recorded Bussin'. Because like I said, that was the only time I had. Recorded Bussin'. Got the song done. I'm like, all right, cool. Go to the 8 a.m. meeting because we had meetings every morning at 8 a.m. at the Soho House. So I go to the 8 a.m. meeting. We work on Donda 2. And then after that, I guess they all left. I guess they went somewhere. That's when I recorded the Bussin' video while everybody was gone. And then Ye had a wardrobe room. I went in the wardrobe room. I took all the clothes, put it on, put them back.
What was So that time span of you recording and shooting that video, how many hours do you think that was?
Recording? Like, it was like one day.
Crazy.
Yeah, one full day. It was like, did the song at 6 a.m. I recorded the video again like around like probably 11 p.m.
Crazy. Rolling Loud, your first one wasn't too long ago.
Yeah.
How was that?
It was good because I got to see I have fans. Like I know I have fans, but it was like when I did Rolling Loud Miami, it was like, oh shit, I didn't know I had fans like this.
People there to see you.
Yeah.
What do you think was the most like, damn, oh shit moment out there? Was it like the actual people? Was it the set and the stage? Because personally, I feel like what stage were y'all on again?
Oh, I forgot.
But I remember it was the one with the dome, and it just seemed like
it was a monster.
Okay, because when I watched the stream, those were some of the best performances.
Monster,
there.
yeah, that Ken performed there too. I remember. That was crazy. Like, I want people to know, like, I don't have an album out. Like, I don't have a project out. I don't have nothing on Apple Music besides the shit I put out in 2018. So I performed all unreleased at my Rolling Loud Miami.
Yeah,
I had no choice. I don't know. I performed. Obviously, Bussin' was out. I think I had this song "Can't Relate" that was out, but those was only out on. I think those was out on Apple Music too. So I had Bussin', "Can't Relate," and the rest of my set was unreleased. Unreleased music. And when I seen them reacting to it, I was like, "Oh shit! All right, I might have some."
Like, that's the wave.
Yeah. I performed God's Time,
look, and which is one of my favorites. Yeah. And this year I'm gonna get a chance to join you out there.
Yeah.
For March Rolling Loud. For your fans that's watching, what is something that they can expect at this Rolling Loud that's gonna be different from the last one?
It's gonna be like a play, theatrical play. So it's gonna be like I'm gonna have
an experience.
Yeah, it's gonna be an experience. Like I'm gonna have I'm gonna have like a whole play. Like, it's gonna be like, obviously we gotta sit down and go over it, but it's gonna be a whole play where it's like, it's gonna be like an experience. Like from the start, from the first minute to I guess my set is 35 minutes. It's all gonna be accounted for. Every minute's gonna be accounted for. Cause I'm gonna obviously
walk around,
the
bottle.
Yeah, it's like every minute is gonna be accounted for. It's gonna be like, I know my set time, so I know how long I have to make this play for y'all. And it's gonna be like real seamless to the point where my DJ is only gonna have to press play. And it's already pre-recorded, the drops, everything. The skits. And that's how I always done my shows. So, but now that I'm getting better at it, I'm like, okay, this Rolling Loud is obviously the perfect place to showcase it.
What process do you like more now, the actual making of the song or the performance aspect?
Bro, the performance. In all honesty, I feel the most alive on stage.
Why is that? The fans?
It's not, if there was no fans in the crowd, I still would feel alive on stage. I remember doing my sound check. I remember doing my sound check, and I was rocking out like it was 1 million people in the crowd. The workers were just looking at me like, "Yo, what the fuck is wrong with this kid?"
You locked in.
Yeah, I see, I see it, and it's like I'm at the point now where it's like I see it so much that outside forces will try to stop my vision. But yeah, it's deep. It's spiritual at that point.
A little too deep.
Yeah, it's spiritual at that point.
Like I mentioned before, you're getting a lot more in front of the camera.
Definitely.
There's a video that leaked. I don't know if you saw. You probably saw of your documentary that's coming out. Should your fans be expecting something of that nature, of that caliber from Digital 9?
Yeah, I'm gonna give them like an update. I'm gonna start calling them updates. So I feel like I owe. Like, cause obviously there's fans that knew me from the underground days, and there's fans that just found out about me from obviously the whole Ye experience. So I'm in this middle where it's like niggas that have seen my come up, and the niggas that are like industry plant. Who the fuck is Digital Nas? He came out of nowhere, but they don't know my story. So I feel like I have to tell my story. I feel like if a lot of artists told their story, like them telling their story, I feel like a lot of unexplained answers would be answered. But they dead and gone. They can't even tell their story.
Do you think with artists telling their story, does that create more longevity with their careers?
I think it's like they hearing it from the horse's mouth. That's all I feel like.
Assumptions.
No assumptions. It's it's stories about Michael that I wish I want to know, but I can't just take people's word from it. Or it's stories about Prince that I want to know, but I can't take nobody's word from it because it's two sides to every story. It's so it's like I always want to hear stuff from the horse's mouth.
Well, again, Nas, we appreciate you coming through with us, man. For all your fans that are watching and listening, what's something new upcoming that you got coming? You said it's gonna be the year of Digital Nas. What's some things they should be expecting from you?
I'ma just be in front of the camera more. That's if it's anything y'all expect, y'all just gonna see me in front of the camera more. Okay. Definitely.
Legit.
Yeah.
Signed, sealed, and delivered. Again, you guys are tapped in with me, the most energetic entertainer. Streetz is watching Shade 45, DJ Drama, Don Cannon. We're here, and like Drum says, we're gone.